Hey, what's up everybody? It's the People's Crypto. I'm back again with another video. In this video, I wanted to discuss the government-backed digital currencies that's happening in the United States, also in China, and some other countries. I think it's pretty interesting. I'm going to jump right into it, but before we begin, please keep in mind that this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research and please seek out a financial advisor, one well equipped in cryptocurrencies if you're looking to make an investment in this new asset class. So, all right, so let's jump into it. All right, so if you're not aware, there is a Banking for All Act in the US of A. Now, what's interesting is this was introduced March 23rd, 2020, and it is really interesting. I'll go through it just briefly, but it is basically a document that's going to implement a digital dollar. Now, we've been talking about the digital dollar for quite some time now, but this confirms that there is something in the works, or maybe there's something already created. It just hasn't been released yet. Maybe they need a certain reset or something of that nature to implement this digital dollar and the digital dollar wallet. As you can see here, it says to require member banks to maintain pass-through digital dollar wallets for certain persons and for other purposes. This is in the Senate of the United States, and as you can see, the date is March 23rd, 2020. And this is completely insane. I'm going to include this in the links below, but this is just proof that we are moving into a digital space as it pertains to the financial system. Everything will be digital. Paper or fiat money will be digital. Now, this is just in the United States. I'm definitely going to include this link so you can read it all in its entirety, which is completely insane. But if we take a look here, it says the United States Federal Reserve to collaborate with MIT in developing a CBDC digital dollar. This article goes on to say the United States Federal Reserve has just divulged new information on its stance towards CBDCs. For the past year, numerous nations around the world have announced their intentions to research and eventually launch a central bank digital currency, or CBDC. The reasons are varied, but usually boil down to few key factors, which include the ability to increase efficiency, reduce costs with quick settlement times, reduce fraud slash illegal activity, KYC, AML, and be more transparent, ledger-based transaction histories. For these reasons weren't enough justification for looking into the use of CBDC, COVID struck and highlighted a serious deficiency associated with current fiat. And the narrative, unfortunately, is fiat spread germs. China and the US each had instances in which legal tender was taken out of circulation, requiring decontamination. And this goes on to the digital dollar. Before we go any further, everyone should understand what a CBDC is on a basic level. As its name would imply, a CBDC is a digital currency which has been issued by the central bank of any given nation. The United States, a future CBDC is commonly referred to as a digital dollar. These digital currencies are essentially a blockchain-based variant of current currencies such as the dollar by utilizing blockchain and existing as a virtual asset. CBDCs are more easily controlled, monitored, and transacted. To learn more about what makes CBDCs tick, we recently took a closer look at their inner workings here. I'm going to include that link. But essentially what they want is to control, view every single transaction, and also you'll be taxed. There'll be no more putting money in a cash business and fixing the numbers so your business is reporting less earnings than you actually made. That's how people kind of get over on the system. That will no longer exist. You will be monitored for every single transaction. There'll be no more making $300,000 in cash and then only proclaiming that you've made 125,000 or 175,000. So those days will be over once they implement this digital dollar. Now, the United States is not the only country looking to do this. We also have China. It says the digital yuan is China's attempt to upend the global financial order. It goes on to say the digital yuan has become a hot topic as data nationalism and fights over technology standards ring around the world, known as DCEP, digital currency electronic payment. It's expected to be a digital ledger that will replace China's paper renminbi currency variants, which will go head to head with the US dollar and different cryptocurrencies. I'm going to include the link to this as well, but this is happening in every single country. They want to control every transaction. They want to see what you're purchasing. They want to see everything. They will tax you on everything. It's not going to be like how it used to be. If you're purchasing illegal items, or if you want to purchase illegal items, or whatever the government deems to be illegal in any of these countries, they will potentially see that transaction. They may apprehend you. They may do whatever they want to you. They may even use that against you in the future. Let's say if you become an outspoken advocate for whatever things you're passionate about, and the government sees that as a problem. It's like, hey, remember when you made this purchase? They can blackmail you or potentially silence you. That's completely dangerous. Or they can send the transactions to a loved one, maybe a significant other, maybe your parents, or maybe to whoever you are in a relationship with. These things can definitely cause a divide between people. And, digital currencies are a gift and a curse, and it appears that we are going to now have decentralized digital currencies, and then we're going to have government-backed centralized currencies. So the space we're getting into is going to be a little insane over the next few years. It appears that this public health crisis is going to speed up the process in terms of governments rolling out their government-backed digital currencies. And this just brings me to this point where I must say, this is why if you're in Bitcoin or any other relevant cryptocurrencies, it's imperative that you DCA. Now, it's not financial advice, of course. You do whatever you see, for your whatever is in your best interest. But gold, silver, and digital currencies will be probably the best way to preserve your wealth and also to maintain a certain level of privacy. Yes, they can trace Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, but you must remember that Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies do not have your physical name or your social security or any identifying numbers associated with you as an individual. Now, when these governments launch these digital currencies, they'll be able to pinpoint exactly who you are, what transactions you made, how much taxes you owe them, and all of this other interesting stuff that's developing. So they'll basically have more in-depth information on you. So that's something that you must really, really try to grasp and understand when you look through these articles. Now, another interesting development is the Russian ministry proposes to amend law banning cryptocurrency transactions. It says crypto mining is allowed, but payout in crypto is prohibited. It says authorities in Russia continue the game of ping pong in regulating cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin even after passing the country's first crypto law. Russia's Ministry of Finance has reportedly proposed a set of amendments to the law of digital financial assets, or DFA, which bans many operations with crypto. According to the local news agency, I'm going to completely butcher this, Izvesta, the proposed amendments envision a blanket ban on any operation with virtual money for individuals and individual entrepreneurs, except for 3 scenarios. The ministry reportedly wants to ban all crypto transactions except the obtaining of assets through inheritance, bankruptcy, and enforcement proceedings. The amendments reportedly intended to prohibit miners from receiving payment for cryptocurrency mining. Standalone crypto mining is legal, but it loses its financial value because the payment is usually processed in bitcoins and ethers, Izvesta reports. So Russia is really weird. They're kind of going back and forth with their stance on cryptos, but I'm pretty sure once they figure things out, which will probably take them some time, they too will also get into the game of wanting to have their own government-backed digital currency. It's only a matter of time before they decide to do it, because almost every country is doing it. They maybe already have something in the works, but they're not going to really release that information as of yet. They're still trying to figure out Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies and how they can somewhat rein in on potentially controlling it or making sure that people don't really get too much into Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So they're still working on ways to kind of like limit the amount in which people get into those particular decentralized assets. Now, interestingly enough, we also have Japan. Now, I'm going to include this link as the others, but I'm going to just go down to right here. It says a currency race. It says nevertheless, in a country that relies on cash for 80% of transactions, what motivates the sudden rush to go cashless? Competition in a post-COVID world is likely key. The economic implications of the ongoing pandemic are vast, with numerous economists and analysts suggesting a slowdown in global productivity. American multinational investment bank Goldman Sachs recently warned that the United States government's excessive fiscal spending could lead to a severely weakened dollar and its loss of its world reserve currency status. As the global reserve currency, the dollar is the primary currency in which most of the world's trade occurs. Current economic conditions have led the world leaders to suggest a great reset to the global economy. As China and Russia begin reducing their reliance on the dollar, a shift in the role of global currencies seems increasingly likely. A diminished reliance on global reserve currencies have already been underway since the great financial crisis of 2008 and 2012. The possibility of asserting its currency on the international stage has likely pushed China to become a frontrunner in digital currency race. If a digital yuan, currently under trial, were to be widely accepted, it could streamline commerce and increase financial inclusion, yet the CCP would enjoy privileged access to transactions data of valuable commodity in increasingly digital world. As noted with Facebook's Libra, the central bank policy of a dominant digital currency could overwhelm that of another nation. All things considered, it remains uncertain whether China or any single nation would realize such influence. As Japan disinvests from China, government officials are unwillingly to stomach such a risk. Yet as the BOJ accelerates the development of a digital yen, it faces an uphill struggle updating the spending habits of an aging and cash-dependent society. Now, they are in the game too. They're trying to hurry up and rush their own digital currency, and this is what I'm trying to really show, all of you, is that we're going digital regardless. Whether you get into Bitcoin or not, I think it's important that you realize that we're going that way regardless. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people like gold and silver and, other assets to preserve their wealth, and that's fine. But it doesn't matter what you do. We're going digital. All of these countries have come to the same realization that, going digital would be to their benefit, and they all want to rush to the finish line to get this done, because they'll be able to see all your transactions. They can tax you more heavily. They can also create more of their digital fiat, and they can control the supply of the money a lot more, and they can see what you're doing at all times. It's really like some weird, creepy control type of mechanism that they want. They want more control. They want to see every single thing that you're doing. Now, if you have Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrencies, even if you have Monero, you can somewhat, still use those currencies. But Monero, it's still like private, and they can't really trace your transactions. However, they're working on doing that now. So in the future, it's just going to get really creepy and weird. But here's even more articles. Britain's central bank contemplates a digital pound. I'm going to include the link to that. It just goes to show you that these things are happening. No one's paying attention because there's this gigantic public health crisis that's going on. The Federal Reserve Chair in the U.S. says he wants more inflation, which we all know that they're going to just print out more money, and the price of goods and services is just going to go up as a result of that. It's just the ultimate disaster, what's going to be happening soon. So it's important. If you're not into Bitcoin, fine. You do have the options of gold and silver. The only thing I would warn you of with gold and silver is that you can't make any online transactions with gold and silver, but you sure can do that with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Monero, or any other cryptocurrencies with a particular use case. Obviously, do your own research and see which cryptocurrencies best fits your budget and which one makes the most sense to you. But I would also say, take a look at the other videos that I've done where Fidelity, the IMF, have basically come out and said that cryptocurrencies is basically the wave of the future. As it pertains to Fidelity, they more specifically have focused on Bitcoin, and they're only offering that to their wealthy investors or their accredited investors or institutional investors. So just be mindful of most of these big giant corporations or even these wealthy individuals have really focused on primarily Bitcoin and not really any other cryptocurrencies. So Bitcoin is king and is going to be king for quite some time, but it will have competition from these centralized government-backed digital currencies. Also, we take a look at Brazil's central bank may be ready for digital currency by 2022. Brazil's central bank president, Roberto Campos Neto, believes the bank may be ready for central bank digital currency, CBDC, as early as 2022, as reported by the Correio Brasiliense. I said that completely crazy, but it doesn't matter. On 2 September 2020, this follows the central bank's announcement in August about starting a worldwide study on CBDC insurance. But there you go. You have Brazil, Russia is kind of trying to figure things out. You have Japan, they're trying to rush to get their things done. You have China with the digital yuan, and you have the United States putting it out there that they are working on a digital currency. But all of this points to this, the Great Reset. Now, this is an initiative that they want, and because of this crisis, political, economic, and social disruptions, it has caused this to happen. They want the reset. This is what they're talking about, the Great Reset. Everything is going to change as we know it, from 2020 to, who knows, maybe 2025 or until the next decade. What I can tell you is that everything is going digital. If you have a brand new vehicle, you don't have a CD player in there anymore. That is gone. They've went digital with that. You use your cell phone, which is also digital, and you use that to basically control your music in your car. No, everything is going digital. Game consoles, you no longer need, in some instances, you don't need a CD to play a video game. You can stream these games now. Everything is going and it's headed in digital. So you really need to pay attention to where the world is going. So we will have digital currencies. If you don't believe in Bitcoin, fine. Not a problem. But when the government releases their digital dollar or digital pound or digital yuan, you're going to have no choice, and you're going to wake up to them controlling every single thing that you're doing, and you won't be able to outpace inflation when they create these things. It's just going to be an utter disaster, and they'll probably fail. So they may have plans for their great reset, but in all reality, and it may not actually pan out the way they want it to, because we have Bitcoin, and Bitcoin has already had a 12-year head start on the soon to be released government-backed digital currencies. So just pay attention. I'm going to include the links to all of those articles, but just please be mindful of what's going on, and please pay attention. Try to warn some loved ones. They probably won't listen to you and they'll call you crazy. That's absolutely fine. Let's take a look at the cryptocurrency prices. And we have Bitcoin is at $10,160.05. Ethereum's at $345.86. Tether is $1. XRP is 24 cents. Chainlink is 12.06. Bitcoin Cash is $223.49. Polkadot is $4.37. Bitcoin SV is $175.64. Litecoin is $47.89. Binance Coin is $21.72. EOS is $2.81. Cardano is 9 cents. Tron is 3 cents. Tezos is $2.47. USD coin is $1 as always. Stellar is 7 cents. Monero is $80.11. Neo is $17.19. Cosmos is $4.86. And Leo is $1.20. A lot of coins have been shifting around in the past couple of days. Keep in mind, this will happen all the time. The top 10 will consistently change. But just please remember that Bitcoin has been number one, and that's probably not going to happen. They talk about this Philippining where Ethereum will overtake Bitcoin. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But it probably will happen one day, but who knows? Don't get discouraged if we just so happen may fall down to maybe something outrageous like $4,000 or $5,000. Just keep in mind that Fidelity and a lot of big time investors are continuing to dollar cost average, or to continue to buy a ton of Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're going to keep buying these coins up regardless what their price points are. So try not to get worried or concerned. We'll go back up. We always do. But if we do dip down, it's nothing to really be alarmed about. Just look at it as a discount and DCA, of course, and you should be able to either get your first Bitcoin, second, or third, or get to something reasonable. Obviously, it's not investment advice. Please do your own research, but that's going to wrap it up for the video. If you're listening on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification button. If you're listening on LBRY, please share this video on the platform. You can also leave me an LBC tip. That's perfectly fine as well. You can follow me on Twitter. Not really big of a Twitter person, but you can follow me on there as well. Any donations will be greatly accepted, and I'll say thank you in advance if you do decide to leave me a tip. That's perfectly fine. That's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope everyone had a great and productive holiday weekend here in the States. If you're elsewhere, I hope your weekend was awesome, and I hope you have a great week. That's going to wrap it up for this video, and I will see you guys later.